We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby. We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby. We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby. We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby.
Yes, sir. Talking Shop, presented by Anchor. This is episode 139. I'm your host, Bobby Hall, and with me, as always, my two cohorts, my co-hosts, Dylan the Savage and Joe the Greek. My
Howdy.
G's, we
What's
back
up?
with it.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Just burp up garlic parmesan wings, you know.
Friday
Not the
night
best.
vibing. We're Friday night vibing instead of a Saturday morning, whatever
Yeah.
you call it.
There it is. But you're still D-loing it.
Wow.
Feeling good, dude. Feeling good. Got this Bud Light making me feel right on this Friday night. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Barring it up. There you go. You about to drop a freestyle too?
I need to see what the competition is because
Soon
little
come.
birdie told me we finished up some writing material.
Yeah, 100% done with the little freestyle, or I guess whatever you want to call it. I mean, I guess freestyle is kind of a loose term these days, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
100% done with that, and it's pretty good. I gotta be honest, but I was gonna just record it here, and then I texted AD because if you guys watch that Hollywood Sav video of his freestyle, like AD's ad libs are just. They're very funny because he's very animated. He gets really into it, which is good. It's a good thing. So I was like, hey, I'm about to record this shit. And then once I send it over, will you throw some ad libs on it and just send it back to me? And then he's like, well, you should just come back to the station and record it. So that's what
All
I'm
right.
going to do. So I got to try to figure out when I can get back down to Findlay and make it happen, man. But we're going to do a whole official thing, man. I'm excited. Pretty fucking sweet.
That dude is wild, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be an awesome moment.
Yeah, it's felt good to write some raps again. Especially, I was talking to Sav about it. It's awesome to like when you're writing and you get to a spot where you're like trying to figure out some other shit, and it's kind of like putting a puzzle together, and you get them bars right there that kind of fit as that like last puzzle piece or whatever. And just like he said, it's almost like a high, man. It feels really good. So I got some slick shit in there.
Did you get yourself some goosebumps? Or give yourself, not get yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Did you buy some?
Goosebumps? No, but I got really hype. I'm like, dude, this is fucking.
Let's go.
At first, it really was. It was tough, man. It was because I hadn't really put any kind of thought into something like that in about 10 years. And even back then,
material.
I never really recorded anything either. It was kind of just I would actually legitimately freestyle off the top of my head at like parties and shit. And not doing that for so long, like it's kind of tough to like get them juices flowing. But after a few days, it came back, man, and we were able to, to get it going. I mean, you guys seen just that little, I don't know, bar that I dropped on the live, man.
Speaking of, are you going to debut this recording after it's all complete on a live session?
That's what I was kind of thinking about. I was going to talk to AD, like, hey, once that's done, send it over to me, and I'd like to debut it on a live stream, and then like,
let's go
that night or the next morning or something, let it drop on his YouTube and mine. But
Uh-oh.
He's remixing again.
Has remix.
Technical difficulties.
User.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. I think this thing's on.
Oh, yeah.
What? That record's skipping hard.
Sure. Hold on. Little technical difficulties here in the stream of yards. It seems like your audio's back. You can talk, Bobby.
Just while I'm figuring out, you guys carry along.
Yeah. Either way, I am excited for this project. I'm more intrigued by what beat you decided to go over, and I did have a question once we do get this figured out. Did you rap over and write over a beat already pre-selected, or did you kind of find a beat that went with the words you've already written?
Run that back again. What?
He wants to know what beat you picked out. You picked out
Well,
that.
no, not. Yeah, did you pick the beat first and then write your words over the beat, or did you pick a beat that best fit like the words?
Beat was picked first.
Fantastic. That's what I figured. Probably an
I
easier
don't.
path
Can,
too.
can people write without that? That'd be tough.
I don't
feel
think so.
like.
I feel like people like, especially normal. I don't know about like hip hop and writing rap and all that stuff, but you would see like in documentaries that like the lead singer would bring in lyrics and then the band would just kind of like build something off of the
There's
lyrics.
how many? Because I do have a line about GSP from UFC, and I'm hoping. I mean, I think most people will know who that is.
George
But
St.
I guess
Pierre,
the ones
right?
that really don't. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess the ones that aren't really like into MMA, we'll see if they get that reference. But
That reference.
Okay.
you don't know who GSP is? He's like probably top 3.
Say the
player
name,
of
not the
all time.
abbreviation.
George St. Pierre.
Sounds more familiar, but I mean, I probably couldn't pick him out in a crowd.
You wouldn't want to.
I am a very casual
He'd fuck you
UFC
up.
fan, by the fair, or to be fair.
I'll give you
I
that.
watched the pay-per-view.
It all goes. I'll give you one more little nugget because I want to kind of explain this shit to maybe
But are you gonna reference your penis again?
But my
Yeah.
no, but the act of using it maybe.
All right,
let's
So
say-
yes.
My girl the fucking waterfall when she when she blessed me, uses hands and feet like GSP, and that's the line. So
Jesus
it's
Christ.
a part of the action, but I don't necessarily talk about my.
Is Tori
Okay.
proud about this? Does she know about this?
There's nobody yet. She's just gonna hear it when it drops,
Okay. Well,
But I feel like that's complimentary.
maybe.
What do you
What
mean?
if rappers
Maybe.
fuck to their own songs? Is that something that you would want to accomplish?
If I was like, my girl's pussy is like the desert, then I'd, that'd,
Like the Deezer on the Caesar.
yeah.
Yes. We'll have to get into some bad jokes.
Frog legs. But I'm coming, baby. I'm excited. I can't wait to do it. It's gonna be great. I'm calling it one night only because it's just gonna be one time thing. But we'll see. If my guy Sav reached out and wanted to do something, it'd be tough to say no because he's the fucking man and he's my boy. But as of now,
I'll ghost right for you if you need me to.
doing one nighter.
Also, the offers extended to anyone who's listening. If you guys need vocals, I know it's usually popular to get the female vocal in there for choruses, but a good solid male vocal. Wiz Khalifa done it before, came out great. See you again,
Boyfriend
yeah. Douchebags.
or douchebag. I'm sorry, yeah, douchebag.
You guys are
Yeah,
He
nerds.
did sing.
Yeah.
I mean, the chorus was pretty much the same. I think.
They all followed the same melody, yeah, but different words.
Really? If I was your boyfriend. Oh yeah, I guess that's
maybe,
true.
yeah.
If I was your boyfriend. Yeah. All right.
Banger.
But still, yeah. That
Cool.
shit will go viral today.
Probably.
You got to keep your shirt on when you do it, Dylan. I know you're trying to take it off.
Unless it falls on the
Pop
wheel.
off and be weird, man.
Dylan Savage, man, beer guy. You're a beer guy now.
I'm trying to be fair. I'm in the stage of like, I take a sip of beer and I'm not like absolutely grossed out by it. I feel like there's like always stages to alcohol, and I'm not a big drinker.
16?
Not a big drinker, so like I'm late to the game. Okay, I'm very late.
Same, I don't drink.
Decades.
So, I'm sorry, I should have asked earlier, but so when my shit goes out, it fucks my audio up too.
For briefly.
'Cause I have a feeling it might be because I don't know if it's probably my computer. This bitch is 9 years old, and it's got a fucking
What?
camera plugged in, one USB, and then this camera's pulling more power out of the other one. So this bitch is probably overworked like a motherfucker. So, I guess if my shit goes out, I'll just mute my stuff. You guys are just gonna have to just jump in. Fingers crossed, though. Or I can just go back to using the laptop camera. But I mean, that's
Better than
Shake
nothing.
wall.
Yeah, we don't even want
Yeah, I
to
mean,
see you
we know
anymore.
what's going on. We'll figure it out.
We
I
always
mean,
do.
you're hidden behind the mic right now. I think Dylan could cut the video to make it say whatever. We can see your mouth right now. We can just dub you over the video right now.
Yeah.
Good. That's a deliberate thing.
I got Szechuan sauce on your chin or something.
No, that's all. I lick that shit clean. When we're in pre-production, that's why I turn my camera off, so I can lick the cup.
Anyways, you want to introduce our guy here
No,
today?
that's gross, but you'll lick a butthole? Stop, dude. I hate when you do that kind of shit, man.
Now, I just think it's a little sloppier.
The sauce
you know what I mean?
cups? Get out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not getting to this right now. Can't do this live.
Well,
Can't do this one.
I feel like, is there a better segue to bring on our guest than that? I'm not sure there is. I think, we'll bring him on, I guess. For episode
Unreal.
139, we've got, a comedian extraordinaire. He not only is jumping on the stage to do some stand-up, you can see him on Instagram, TikTok, doing skits and videos and pretty much anything that will make you laugh. So we're going to talk about everything, and we're going to definitely be talking about you-know-what towards the end of the show. But for today, episode 139, we have with us Mr. Flamingo Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen.
What's up?
There he is. What are your thoughts?
What up? What up? So we're gonna have to talk about some stuff because I sat here and listened to the first 12 minutes of this, and I have several things to discuss. Fire
it off.
One of them being, let me find out Dylan's got bars.
Whoa! Yes, I do.
That Bud Light making me feel right on a Friday night.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't drink Sprite.
That shit's tight. Even though you look extra white, it's all right. We got this. I can write it. I got you.
And we went from the bars to booty hole licking. Is that the same
Yeah,
way?
that was the transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's usually how it goes here.
Yeah. That's talking shop, man. We hit all topics. So
Okay. All right. Well, that's
inside out, up and down, whatever, So
Fleshlight reviews, whatever you need, man. We got you.
yeah. If you're in the market, we can read some off for sure. That's been the thing we've been doing.
I don't know where that even came from, but those dudes are wild, man.
Very hilarious.
Make an account, then review it. This one's great for milking.
Yeah.
Great detail. Jeez.
This one feels more like a butthole.
This one's good if you got a lot of girth or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that one guy. All right, whatever. You say Randy. You say Randy.
People have crazy reviews. Yeah.
I had somebody, I was on a live stream earlier, and I had somebody come in the live stream and ask me, if you had to go to prison, which one would you choose, length or girth? And I had to think about it for a second. I was like, Oh, you're asking me that. No, I'm not answering that, bro. I'm not answering that, bro. Like, that's not happening. Because if
I'll be dead before I find out.
Well, yeah, if I do go to prison, I can tell you, shower? Why? Nah. If you're gonna want to go back there, you're gonna be on some really nasty shit because it's not gonna look pretty back there. I guarantee you.
Extra stank, huh?
You're gonna make it extra unappealing. Like, come on.
I don't know if they care, man.
You know what? I don't
Somebody's
know.
probably like, yeah, the stinkier the better. I'm gonna get there.
Oh God! See, I was gonna take it there, but I decided not to, and I see where things are gonna go. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
There's nothing really off the table. We just try to not do politics. That's just wild.
Yeah, we'll talk about buttholes and prison showers and whatever. But yeah, politics.
Yeah, can't do it.
That's
where we draw the line. You know?
Yeah. Got to be somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, man. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you giving us some of your time, and like I told you earlier, definitely appreciate the flexibility working with us because I think it's better to kind of have the three amigos on rather than just the two of us. So it's going to be a good show. But Yeah, kind of like what we said. You're a comedian, and by that, it's just got multiple facets of how you make those things happen. And you kind of were telling us that your main focus right now is kind of TikTok and social media in general, because that's kind of where you've been able to gather your most following. And I guess we'll kind of start out with one, some of your influences and how you got into comedy itself, and then what was the road you took? Like, how were you able to kind of build up your brand a little bit? Because you got 63,000 followers, which that's nothing to scoff at. That's a hell of a lot of people tuning
Yes.
in. So yeah, we'll kind of start out from the very beginning, man. Where how'd you get in the game?
So as a young lad, no, I'm not going to do that. So it's a really really weird thing, man. I'll start this way. I got on TikTok during the pandemic, just like a lot of people. I had been on TikTok before, but I only did a few videos back when it was musically, and I didn't mess with it, and I left it alone, and they turned it over to TikTok, and I downloaded it, and the first video I did was with me, my wife, and my oldest son, and my dog, and we did the flip the switch challenge with Drake.
Yeah.
I just flipped the switch. You turn
Yep,
the light
yep.
off, and you switch
Yeah.
clothes. And that was the first video I did on TikTok, and literally, if you go back, if you look at my TikTok and you go back to the bottom, scroll all the way down to the bottom, it's entertainment. And it's entertainment in the sense of this dude does not know what the hell he's doing. Because
It's everybody, isn't it?
yeah, I just literally would just record whatever. I would do trends. I would dance. I would sing. Like, I did everything.
That's awesome.
Everything. And it just kind of naturally gravitated towards the comedy, and people started following me more and more. And then, people started commenting, "Hey man, you're really funny." And I was like, really? Now, I never ever thought I would be doing stand-up comedy. As far as entertainment is concerned, I was a professional singer way back in the day. I sang up
What?
professionally. Yeah, sang professionally in the gospel circuit as a young kid, from about 11 to 12 years old, going into about 18. So that's where I kind of naturally shifted, started singing R&B. That didn't really work. Started having kids, not
Grew
paying
up
bills.
on.
Yeah, had to be an adult.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I never would have thought I'd be a stand-up comedian. Fast forward to now, Goose. I'm sure you guys know who Goose is. No, yeah, maybe
Nope, not me.
Oh,
From
Okay.
Top Gun?
No.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, like I told you earlier before we got on here, my For You page is wild. It's
Yeah.
big booty moms and then like prison people. So not too many comedians, unfortunately.
Prison talk, man.
Oh wait,
Right.
yeah. Okay, no. Now that you do say that, yeah. The bearded dude, right?
Yes.
Big burly bearded. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Him and some other guys, they put together a tour that was kind of button up with the content violation tour, and I'm not sure how much you guys heard about that whole fiasco. But anyways, he literally heard of me from another guy and saw my stuff, and he called me. He was like, "Hey man, have you ever did stand up?" And granted, I had already been writing jokes, and I had always knew that eventually I would try it, but I never knew what the road was. And he called me and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing stand up?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hey man, I got a spot on the show if you want to do it." And I was like, "Okay." And I went and did a show in Greensboro, North Carolina, because it's like an hour from where I am. And I went on stage and I did 25 minutes. I held the stage my first time, 25-minute set. Almost 30 minutes I did.
That's huge. You usually get, 5, 2, something like that.
Yeah. And from what everybody says, I killed it. Now I can go back and listen to it, and I can tell you 20 million things I did wrong that I didn't want to do that I did on stage. But according to everybody that was there, I killed it. And from then on out, I've been chasing that same high, and I've just been working on the craft. So it's weird how it started, man. I never would have thought in a million years I'd be anywhere near where I am right now doing this.
It's awesome. I feel
Does
like
that
you
live on the internet? That 25-minute set? Is there a video of
No,
that? Okay.
I audio recorded it, but I did
Okay.
not video record it. So I have the audio recording. I don't think it'll ever come out because I'm like, not to compare myself to Kanye West, but Kanye West is such a like nitpick about his music.
Perfectionist.
It takes so long for him to release it because it never sounds right. That's the way that I am with it, man. Like there's so many things that I did wrong, and I can't.
I think you're being hard on yourself, man. I bet you it sounds fine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be dropping a rap freestyle here soon, and I'm not really even a rapper, so I'm gonna put myself out there.
Everybody's got bars, man. Dylan has got Bud Light inspired bars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just
bring the bag.
Bring it. Let's go.
Come on. Well, I almost need another one actually. About to be 3 beers in and completely plastered.
Oh no.
Cool.
What's gonna happen now? But then what were we gonna say?
No, I was just going to say that it seemed like you have that natural ability, so you're already getting over what would, I guess some people would say, the hardest hurdle, and that's just the stage fright alone. Because like you had no hesitation, you went right into the offer for your first gig. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely comfortable on stage. I think that helped. I think that helped tremendously. The stage fright wasn't there because I'm so used to being in front of people and being on stage. So I could focus on the comedy and I could focus on what I needed to focus on instead of thinking about how nervous I was. So that definitely helps. I will say that is something that puts me at an advantage when it comes to people who's never done it before at all, is that I can literally separate that. I know what to go through in my mind to get rid of that. All the tricks and stuff, picturing people naked, focusing on certain things, like all that stuff. I'm nervous all the way up until now. I tell you, I'm a nervous wreck all the way up until, but as soon as I get on stage, it goes away.
Do you have to do
That's so
anything
weird,
to
isn't it?
get the nerves, or just going on stage gets the nerves away, or do you have like any kind of like rituals you have to do to calm yourself down?
Yeah, edibles.
There we go. Fair enough.
That'll do it.
Oh, I'd be paranoid. Everybody's looking at me right now. That guy's a cop. I know it. Freaking out.
Hey, look, I'm in North Carolina. Delta 8 is legal in North Carolina, so that's what I take.
Well, speaking of that, they're trying to pass it on a federal level. Talking about it today, I think.
Yeah, it'll get there. The whole country will be that way eventually.
It's something like 37 states are medical, and
Yeah.
I think 14 maybe or more are like fully like legal or whatever. Yeah, rec level for state. I don't understand what's the big deal.
There's still 3 that are completely illegal though.
Mm-hmm.
Like what, Montana?
It definitely ain't
Stuff
Oregon.
like that.
You can walk around with a needle in your arm. You just don't sell that dope, but you can shoot it. Just don't sell it.
The last time I went to Vegas, man, Vegas was just it was. You may as well have turned Vegas into a big weed leaf. Like everywhere you went, especially outside,
Yeah,
you smelled it.
It was like that before.
Well, yeah, but it's way more now. Way more. Like I never escaped it. I never had to smoke. I had a contact the entire time I was there, just walking around.
Just existing.
Yeah.
Casinos are probably making more bank now because dudes will be at the blackjack table like, hit me, and they got fucking like 36 already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure, sir?
You got 40
Yes.
now. You busted, but all right.
I'm going for double blackjacks.
Hit me again.
Yeah. Do you because I know a lot of people that kind of come up in the stand-up game, they'll study some of the greats and watch a lot of the, I think people always talk about what is Eddie Murphy Raw, like the old school stand-up routines and specials through, today. Is that something that you kind of do to maybe learn, cadences or, kind of how to work the crowd?
I've always been a fan of stand-up, but I will say this. Since I have become a stand-up comedian, I have watched probably less now. And the reason why is because I don't really want to be influenced by anybody else. I don't really want to go on stage and somebody say, oh, he stole that bit from so-and-so, or he, and especially some of the newer stuff. So I really try to be in my own space, and that's why I'm doing open mics a lot, so I can kind of figure out what my thing is, because every comedian has their thing. You know, Chris Rock
Yeah.
is very good for just being very controversial. Chris Rock says the stuff that is just past appropriate, and he's very good at that. Dave Chappelle is one of the most introspective, just geniuses of a person, let alone a comedian. He is so freaking well read, and his intellectual comedy. When I do watch him, when I do watch it, I watch him. Every time I watch a show, I get a different part of a joke. You know, I see a different thing that I didn't get the time before, because that's how deep his comedy is. So I just went off on a tangent, and I completely forgot where I was going with this.
You explained it. You said you didn't want to
pretty much
steal from nobody. That makes sense.
Oh, right.
You respect the greats, but you want to kind of have your own.
I want to do my own.
You got
thing.
a top 5 though?
Lane.
Top 5, of course. Chappelle.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna always be number 1. Robin Williams to me was probably number 2. I would put Robin Williams, and it was because of how physical he was, but also how versatile he was. You know, I mean, he there was just no limits to him whatsoever. I'd have to throw Chris Rock in at number 3. Who would be my 4th?
it's hard, man. I'm
Eddie
having a hard
Murphy.
time thinking.
Eddie Murphy's as a stand-up comedian was not really that fun to me. He really
agree. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, I give him his props. He definitely earned it, but like, I'm not a big fan of it.
Eddie Murphy,
like his movies.
Fair enough.
Jamie Foxx. People sleep like that is one person I cannot believe has not done stand-up comedy recently. Like, what? Why is he not doing it? That's what he started doing. And there's if you go look it up, it's a DVD or a special that he did called "I Might Need Security." It is hilarious from the front to the back, and then when he's done with the show, he gets on the piano and does a whole comedy bit singing.
Yeah, that dude's wild.
Who does that?
That dude's so talented.
I
mean,
he's kind of
type style.
It's crazy because like Jamie Foxx is probably considered like A-list, but he's still kind of like underrated because he can do he can act very well. He's very funny, hell of a singer.
Yeah, he's all over the board.
He's like Jamie Foxx and like Donald Glover. They're like those two dudes that they can just multifaceted. You know.
Now I've seen Donald Glover. I've seen his stand-up, and his stand-up is not good. It is not. No, I don't like it. And so it's one of those things where it was like you've done everything else. I want to do stand-up. Okay, I'm going to write some jokes, and I'm going to get a special. You know, he was already
based off his name.
Yeah, I'm not sold.
But like he's a really good writer. Like Atlanta's a pretty funny show. Like he is a funny dude. Like stand-up may not be his niche, but he was really good in that show Community, and he's a dope ass rapper and he can sing. I just kind of comparing those guys in the fact that they just some of those comedians, like they're just kind of good at like that one thing, whereas those guys can kind of do a little bit of everything. But what kind of what's your kind of future goals or short term, long term with what's going on right now? I know you kind of want to just keep growing, the TikTok following, and eventually try to pull as much of that over to different avenues and such. But I guess we'll start out. What are some of your short term goals right now?
Well, I mean, as of right now, I'm just trying to build a brand. It's been a long road that I've been on so far, and it's been a hard road. And I'm just focused on building the brand, and I'm trying to stay authentic in the sense of just doing what comes to my mind, doing what comes to my heart to do. I've gone through some ups and downs with TikTok. TikTok will literally drive you nuts if you let it. Because as a creator, it's not that you want to go viral with every single video that you post. Like, that's just not possible. It's just not happening. I mean, there are some people who do it, but it's very rare. But as a creator, you want as many people to see your stuff as possible, and the big concern with TikTok and a lot of other social media platforms was, if you have 60,000 followers, then at least those 60,000 people need to see your content whenever you post it. But to have 64,000 followers and I post something and only 400 people see it, like, that's something's not adding up. 64,000 people hit that plus button and said that I want to see more content from this guy. And when I post it, they're not seeing it.
It happens all the time on that app. Because there's people I have to go and search out. I want to see what they're doing. Because I'll like them. Oh, this dude's funny. Or whatever. Or like we've had a guy on named Walter, Michigan Barbecue Addicts. Since I've actually followed his channel, I don't ever see his stuff. I have to go to his page and check it out now. I don't know what's up with TikTok. It's a new thing that's going on where you can't actually watch what you want to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is.
And that's always been the battle with me is, spending the time recording stuff, spending hours editing, because some things are not easy to record and some things are not easy to edit, and spending that time and energy and putting my heart and my soul into things and putting it out there, and the algorithm is just saying, you know what, screw this. We'll throw it out to 200 people. If they like it, they do. If they don't, then whatever. That's the frustrating thing. And like I said, you go through waves, and you have to keep the mindset of, like, for instance, I just realized that one of my followers has whatever the highest stage is, stage 4, stage 5 cancer.
All right.
Yeah,
I think
it's
That's terrible.
Yeah, has stage 4 cancer, and he just followed me recently, and he did a thing on TikTok about how he's got months, if not weeks, to live. And I'm hearing stuff like that kind of brings me back to say, hey, even if it's only 400 people that see my stuff, one of those 400 people is somebody who is just trying to live their life and be happy and laugh the last moments of their life. And it's kind of stuff like that it'll bring me back down.
It's gonna make you pretty proud. I mean,
yeah. It puts into perspective for me, for sure.
You just don't know how many hours you got left to live, and he's choosing to spend it watching your videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I'm kind of glad you had brought that up, because I think really not that long ago, maybe a couple months ago, I had kind of seen a video where you're came out and just said, yo, I need a break from TikTok. I don't know how long the break's going to be. Yeah. I just need to kind of hit refresh or kind of reset and just kind of stay off and kind of figure out what's going on. And I'm assuming a lot of what you just said is what kind of fueled that.
I'm telling you, man, when you're as passionate about what you do as I am, and I'm very passionate about this. I really love doing it. I really want to do it to make people happy and make people laugh and smile and bring joy into people's lives. When you're as passionate about it as I am, it messes with you when you feel like you're being suppressed, when you feel like the algorithm is just grabbing you and just holding you down here and saying, you know what, we're not going to let you up. And if we do, we're going to let you up for a second. We're going to give you some views and some followers, and we're going to rip you back down, and we're going to hold you there for another 3 months. That is really, it messes with you. And sometimes I have to do it. I have to take a step back, because I'm starting to really get angry at things that I see on TikTok, and that's not cool. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a good time when I started. And one of the things I did recently, I don't want to rant too much, but one of the things I did recently was I went back all the way, like I told you guys earlier, all the way to the beginning of my TikTok, and I just started scrolling through. And when I tell you, I watched every single video from front to back of stuff that I did. And I just kind of looked, and it made me think back to when I was recording that stuff. And I had fun doing it because I wasn't doing it to go viral. I wasn't doing it to gain followers. Nobody was following me.
Just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just doing it for fun. No, because now everything I do, I'm like, all right, it's got to be good. You know, hopefully it can get pushed. Hopefully it can get 100,000 views. You know, I can get another 10,000 followers off of it because, you know, at the end of the day, to make money off of this, it's about the numbers. You know, they always say, don't focus on the numbers. It is about the numbers. It's always about the numbers.
Yeah.
It's always
You get caught up in the game with it
like,
instead of doing it for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I want to do this for a living. So if I want to do this for a living, if I have a goal to get to, then I have to pay attention to the numbers, because there are certain things in the numbers and the analytics that helps me tailor my content to the algorithm. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do what the algorithm wants you to do, you're going to just stay stuck where you are and never move.
Yeah, it's almost like you're setting your own bar and battling yourself in a sense, because when you started, just like us starting this podcast, like we always think of it as like a hobby, something we enjoy doing. And then once you see that like spike that you talk about, you see the potential then, and that potential then gives you the hunger to want to even get more and more and more. And then, you get into that anger because the algorithm. So definitely can relate on that standpoint.
Absolutely. It's a battle. I fight all the time, man. And I take several breaks. Sometimes I don't announce them like I did there. But the only reason I announced it was because a lot of people, it started resonating in my videos. Like, people could see it in my lives, in my videos, and people who have been following me for a while can see it. And they were hitting me up like, hey man, you all right? And I'm like, no, I'm not. So yeah, that's the only reason I announced it, because a lot of people want to know if I was good.
Good thing we take seasons here, man.
Do what?
Yeah, we do like quote unquote seasons. So we'll do 3 to 5 months, once a week, and then after that, we'll usually take like a good 2-3 month break off, because you kind of need it, man. Kind of, because it is a little. This is a hobby, but at the same time, it is a little bit of a grind, because you gotta try to get people to come on. You gotta kind of think content, and
sometimes our schedules don't match up.
Right,
and that's the thing. Yeah, once you do start getting to a point, I guess numbers wise, obviously you kind of know, like, you got to just keep grinding, because once you kind of do kind of chill out and stop, then those people will be like, well, all right, I'm gonna go off to the next guy, and then find somebody else, and forget that we're here. So we definitely kind of running those same lanes a little bit on that side of things. But long-term goals, I mean, obviously you just said it, you want to make this your main, it's not turning it from a hobby to, like, a career, and being able to put 100% into it rather than maybe 60-70%, because obviously I'm assuming you have a full-time job as well. So now when you say, like, you want to turn this into a career, you just want to be a full-time, like, TikToker, or do you want to try to go on the road? Like, where would you see yourself, I guess, maybe in a perfect world?
Man, I'm the type of guy that everything I do it at 1,000%. So I mean, I would be lying if I sat here and said, I don't know what I want to do. I just want to see where the wind takes me. It's like, nah, I'm not that guy. Like, and people that know me will look at me like, he's bullshitting. He's totally bullshitting. I mean, of course. I mean, I would love to do movies, TV, do some acting, definitely do some stand up, and I have a strong passion for writing. I would love to write and produce some movies. I actually have linked up with the producer that I'm helping do some writing on a script that is hopefully to be pitched to Netflix.
Cool.
But that's just something that I'm, one of the things I'm kind of working on when it comes to writing. But yeah, man, I want to do it all. I really do. And I really want for you guys, when I do make it big, to go back to this podcast and say, you know what? We had that guy on before he broke.
Well,
100%. Oh, this
I'm gonna
perfect
love this
segue.
Yeah.
Segue to the TSP Rocket, Bobby. Let them know.
That's the thing. We've had guests on, and when we do have them on, whatever they are doing after they've been on the show, that specific thing, it kind of grows exponentially. You know, we've had
really?
had some pro ball players on, and their careers kind of went up. We had a really awesome guest. She's a sports news anchor in Alabama who said, you know, I can't wait to be a mom. 2 months later, boom, she's got a baby. And then obviously had that, everything's good there. And then just we've had some other folks that started businesses or are working with businesses and have either climbed the ladder there or you know, that business that they're working for has grown. So we call it the TSP Rocket. So we're strapping it on to you, man. So get ready.
Okay. So first of all, let's not talk about the TSP Rocket and then strap on right after that. Okay, don't talk about
it goes with the whole show, man.
Part of the game, man.
How do you like your rocket? You want more length or girth?
Let's start there. Second of all, homegirl that was on here and she left off of the podcast and got pregnant. That it had nothing to do with you guys. That was her husband who was shooting the club up. Okay.
Well,
don't take credit
from the show. The energy from the show went to one of the swimmers. So
it was her husband.
I told her
he said shooting the club up. That's funny.
Take 2%.
That's one of my. I have a terrible one.
Is it a coincidence? Yes.
I have a terrible joke about that. He said shoot the club up. And you tell your chick, like, "Oh, are you at school? Come and shoot some kids up in you." Terrible, right? I told you it was bad.
You said it. I didn't say
it. Whatever. I think she hates me because I don't say nothing too wild to her, but I always tell her some stupid shit like that. I text her like once a day, something terrible.
And you know,
something fine like that.
You know what's really fitting about that joke is you sitting there with Will Smith and Chris Rock behind you, like that. It just makes it all come together.
A little different, man.
100%. But once the TSP Rocket takes you off into space to the moon, man, just make sure you at least pretend that you remember us. All right.
I will pretend at least. I might leave you on red a couple of times, but I promise.
He's honest. He's honest.
Hey, look. Of course, absolutely. When I get there,
I think I'd be offended if you didn't leave me on read at least once. Like,
really?
Left me on red, yeah. I did, okay, he's busy. Got it.
Well, look, this is the thing. Everybody's gonna expect me to be that way, so I may as well go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just answer. Give us like one out of like 7 or 8. Just give us one answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'll say it, and we'll go ahead and we will record it, and I will document it because I appreciate these opportunities. When I make it big, I will come back and do your show for 15% off.
There it is.
I like all it. How cocky is that shit? It was when, not if, when. Okay. All right.
I will give you guys a 15% discount. I'm going to tell you that is unprecedented.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
You know what
a great guy. Anyways,
hey, hopefully by then, we're in a spot where we're raking in some dough. So,
yeah. We all can eat.
We'll charge you a spot fee. We'll have to wheel and deal. We'll have our people talk to your people. And
go to the negotiating table.
It'll be a whole thing. Yeah.
Try to get one of them Joe Rogan Spotify deals.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Here's $100 million for this year.
We'll be in Texas. We'll fly into Texas and it'll be an in-person thing. So
I'll be all right with that Texas weather, man. Be all right with that.
I'm in North Carolina, so I have the most schizophrenic weather ever. So
we're in Ohio, so we definitely know how. It was 70 Wednesday, and then I think it snowed 2 days before that.
That happened recently. 70
degrees. You guys got hurricanes and shit.
Well, yeah, but I'm so far inland because I'm not near the coast. So we typically get wind and rain here, and then if you're in the low-lying areas, then you'll have a flood. But it's typically wind and rain, and the big bands don't normally come in here. It's like, under 100 miles an hour. So it doesn't get that bad. And then literally we may only have 1 or 2 every year that threatens us, whether it scrapes the coast or completely hits us. So it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, I was down on the Panhandle once, man. Hurricanes can be pretty scary. We had that Hurricane Sally a couple of years ago that the water was rising pretty high in the backyard, about maybe an inch and a half away from coming in through the back door before the eye of the storm has passed and the winds have shifted to blow the water away from the door. I'm telling you, it was a crazy time. I was out without power for probably 3 days.
Can you imagine the irony of like being in the back porch or something and that hurricane's coming and it's like barreling wind?
It, dude.
It's like barreling wind and rain, and in the background you got playing Mustang Sally.
God damn it.
I hope that's not the soundtrack I die to. I was thinking about that. I'm like, what kind of song? Okay. Assuming, let's say you flip your car over. I hope it's something cool. And it's nothing Coco Melon or something that's on my phone from my daughter. You know what I mean? I hope it's not Blues Clues mail time. I'm bleeding out. I hope it's something cool.
Hey, just but then you can sing along with it, man. And
mail time. It's dying.
I think I would want my song to be Akinelli, Put It in Your Mouth, as I'm flipping my car over.
Oh God!
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah, I know.
I would love for that to be blaring while my head's cut
Something
off.
horrible like that.
Yeah. Then you get up there and got to talk to the guy like, listen, man, it was on random. It was on shuffle. It's just what, I'm sorry.
I mean, he's got to be cool with it,
What
right?
a topic.
What?
Yeah.
Flip
Usually
your
we
car
talk
over
about,
what
like,
song
hey,
you would die to?
Yeah, what's a soundtrack that you want to die to as opposed to like usually we talk about what's the soundtrack you
Still
wanna come out
Tipping
to?
by Mike Jones and Slim Thug.
Still Tippin'.
Paul Wall, yeah. Specifically, I would definitely cool Slim Thug's verse on there. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
5% tint, can't see up my windows. Just pass out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's nice to go to a nice soundtrack for sure.
I was thinking about, I don't know. Like, when you get a car wreck, does the radio turn itself off? That'd be nice.
I don't know.
Never done that.
You're starting to
Depending on how
get
bad the
some,
wreck is.
some dark shit, man.
Yeah. Sorry, somebody else take the wheel.
Especially on your
I got
little
dark
1-year
real
anniversary.
Oh, yeah, I think maybe that's what it is.
Opposite side of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah, a year ago, I crip walked out of heaven. I ain't worried about nothing anymore. I talked to God already. Tossed me a blue rag,
Take
and
that
I
wheel
said,
to the mill if you
okay.
want.
Yeah, go on
I'm
back
outta here.
in there, son.
I'll see you later.
Watch out! Get out the way, nurse.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't that cool. I had a
Wheels,
walker.
baby.
It was not as cool. Like, all right, don't shit your pants as you get in your car. All right. Try my best.
And you were doing that before that all happened, so.
Yeah, at least I had a reason, though.
All right.
Like, all right.
Got something to blame it on. You shit your pants again? Yeah, well, it's medical.
Yeah, couldn't make it.
Yeah. But I want to get into kind of Flamingo Jackson, the person, starting with how'd you come up with the name and where'd that stem from?
I wish I had a cool ass story for this. I don't. It's just a dope name. That's it.
It
Literally, that is
I can
all
dig
it
it
is
down.
to it. Where it originated, I will say this. Where it originated is I used to go out clubbing a lot. And whenever I would go out and I would drink, I love to dance. And I used to be an entertainer. So like literally I would be the one in the middle of the dance floor and I would be dancing. It didn't matter if anybody was dancing with me or whatever, especially when I started drinking. And one of my friends was like, it's like you're a different person. Like, I don't even know who this person is because I'm really subdued. I'm really quiet as a person, just as a whole. It's crazy that I'm a comedian because I'm just kind of an introvert a little bit, And they were like, it's a different person. And they were like, you should like name that person. Like it's an alter ego. And I was like, Flamingo Jackson. And literally it just came just like that. Like it just came to me and I was like, that's a dope name. And it just kind of stuck with me for a few years. And everything that I set up was Flamingo Jackson. And then it was Flamingo Jackson. And then once I
At
realized
gmail.com.
Yeah. Once I realized that I was actually good at the whole comedy thing, then I just added comedy to the end of it, and now that's what the brand is, Flamingo Jackson Comedy. So,
We need some
literally,
merch, man. We need like a flamingo logo, like some kind of dope ass flamingo logo
working on it.
soon.
I got
Okay.
somebody working on it. As
I got some
we
ideas
All
for you. Either a flamingo holding an edible bag.
Trust me, there's the stuff that she's working on is some good stuff, man. I'm excited about it.
Dope,
Any
man.
past
We'll
affiliation
definitely,
with Flamingos?
No, I mean,
That's-
I've seen them.
any relation?
Because I see it. Yeah.
Any relation?
you have one
Just
as a
to-
pet?
to pop in your
You
head.
related to a flamingo or?
No, I know they get their color because of the shrimp they eat. It's the pink and the shrimp, and then some that eat all the Argentine shrimp, or like they have a redder color because of it. Like,
I hate that I know
That's
exactly
already
what
more
you're
than I
talking
know.
about, dude.
yeah,
I know. Yeah, I love animals. I miss Animal Planet from back in the day, like real Animal Planet,
Mhm.
not chasing Bigfoot. Well, yes, I love your flamingo facts.
yeah. Oh, and then there's just a dope bird. And think about it. Have you ever seen a National Geographic show of a flamingo getting killed by a lion or any kind of animal?
Well,
It's just kind of chill.
I think I saw a saltwater crocodile eat one before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to burst your bubble. There's
I've
only
never
one.
seen
Though. They do grace the title screen on all the Nat Geo stuff,
And a
though.
crane.
You know what I'm talking about? You'll see them
Yeah.
on there. They are cool birds. Backwards
Yeah.
knees,
They're just a
flip
dope
flop
bird.
paint jobs.
Yeah,
Pretty
literally,
cool.
they're just a dope bird to me. So, literally, that's all it is to it.
Bird dope.
Fair
name.
enough. When you're not, filming skits and kind of, hitting the stage and all that stuff, what are some stuff that you do like to do? I know you got a family and stuff, so I'm sure you like to do some stuff with them. But what do you yourself, like to do to kind of unwind and, kind of clear your head and whatnot?
I will say this, man. There's not much unwinding. It is the day is
Winding.
full, and when it's not, it's done, and edible, drink, and boom, sleep. Like
Night,
that's
night.
routine. Rinse and repeat. I tend to pour myself into my family whenever I'm not working my full-time job, because I'm a realtor full-time. When I'm not working my full-time job, and when I'm not creating content, and it's a difficult balance. But my oldest son will be a senior. He's an upcoming senior if he can make it there. We're not going to talk about that.
All right.
And it's not just grades, like physically, he might not make it there because I will. But anyways,
Kill him?
but anyways, he's really, really exceptional at football. I mean, he's really, really good. He's not like a top 10, but recruit or anything like that. But just about every kid on the senior class got offers from somewhere, whether they were Division I or Division II. And I know his school sent some kids to Clemson the year before that. So yeah, I mean, he's got a great shot to go, play football, at the next level. So I kind of pour myself into that. Yeah, he does spring league during the springtime. They just started that, so they've got a game tomorrow. I'll be there for that. So yeah, man, just kind of focusing on the family. Really, to be honest with you, I just kind of pour myself into that because it's really all else I have time for.
I dig
Have you
that.
ever had-
I mean, hey, I think we're all in the same boat there.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any of your clients recognize you from TikTok? And if not,
No.
how would you feel when that happens?
Okay.
I would be embarrassed.
Yeah, you gotta explain that one. I would too.
I would be.
What if they're a big fan?
Literally. Dude, I will say this. Anytime somebody, I was just talking to my oldest son's mother today, and she saw her neighbor or something, and her neighbor, she was like, "Hey, I'm talking to Gabe's dad," and the neighbor was like, "Hey, tell him I said hey, and tell him I love his videos."
Oh God.
Because she had showed him some of my TikToks.
Yeah.
That is the most embarrassing thing to me, dude. I don't know why it is, but that is so embarrassing to me.
Oh, I'm
Like,
with you. I have a hard time watching these videos sometimes.
I
They're
make a damn fool of myself on TikTok. I do. there's been times where I've looked back and I'm like, what was I thinking? And I won't sit down because I like to go back and look at them, but it's embarrassing.
That's funny.
It's embarrassing to me, man. TikTok is like a moped. It's fun to ride, but you don't want anybody to see you own it. Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
happened. That's happened on this. My aunt and uncle, they like to drive down from Ohio to Tennessee, and so they'll like bang through a bunch of our episodes. And there's a few out there that
Yeah.
are pretty wild that they listen to.
Yeah,
And,
I'm already regretting.
every time I see
15
her,
minutes
she's like,
ago.
I can't get the imagery of episode. I don't remember. It was like 109 or whatever it was out of my head, and it's just like that's my aunt talking to me about some wild shit that she listened to. So yeah, no, it's you want everyone to listen and watch
Yeah.
your shit, but like to have them kind of relay like and know some of that they've seen you kind of act a fool or talk to somebody who's extra. It definitely it's one of those like snicker moments where you want to pause and just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I gotta go.
And for you
Yeah.
guys, when you go from Bud Light bars to eating ass, I mean, where can
That's
it go?
regular shit, though. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But we do draw a line at politics.
Yeah.
No Trump talk.
No.
Let's go,
No
Brandon.
Trump talk, just pump talk, baby. That's it.
No Trump, all pump. Yeah.
Yep. Let's go.
I'm still thinking that shit's stupid. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Man, that lady was just trying to save face, and they turned into a whole thing.
I heard that phrase referenced, chanted for a good 2 weeks before I knew what the hell it was. Like I kept hearing it.
Save.
What does that mean? Like I couldn't figure it out. For the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, who is Brandon? Who are they talking about?
Yeah, what a big ass meme.
I finally looked it up and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because everywhere I heard it, it made sense to be hearing it that way.
I get it, sly white people. I get it. Like come on, who made that up? They're in a NASCAR race.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh well, wild.
Anyways,
sorry.
Before we jump into the mill and kind of finish out the show, I was telling you, we always are interested to talk to our guests about the food spots in their neck of the woods or in their travels. We're all kind of foodies in our own rights. So always, like you said, you're from North Carolina. I know that's kind of arguably one of the places to go, I guess, for barbecue. I know that much.
Also, take your shirt off and spin it around your head.
Also true.
Helicopter.
Yeah, drinking gin.
PD lives probably about 30 minutes from me. Yeah,
wow.
he lives in Wake Forest, North Carolina.
Yeah. He's probably still living
Seagram's truck out front.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think he's living a pretty modest living right now.
Really?
Yeah. He's got some cars, but his house isn't much to shake a stick at. And
he had a handful of songs. Can't imagine that's.
Yeah, he's doing okay for himself. I mean, given the circumstances, he was in prison, and he's doing really well. So let me.
What did he do?
I have to imagine he's probably not doing a 9 to 5. So
exactly
on that end of things for sure. But but yeah, throw them out there, man. Some of the dope food spots out your way, barbecue, whatever, man. I know you guys got some bangers out there.
Yeah, barbecue. I've gone back and forth about barbecue. I've had barbecue in like the real places. Graham, North Carolina, Jackson, North Carolina. There's places where it just, where you literally can look at a pig cooker, and then there will be a brand new stainless steel gas grill or whatever, and somebody would be like, "Hey, I want to give you food off of one of these," and I'm like, "Okay, give it to me off the pig cooker." And then when I tell you the pig cooker's rusted, like it's like that's where you get your barbecue from, places like that. So I've been there, but then I've been to some of the hoity-toity. We're a restaurant chain. We do barbecue, and it's decent. But I've stayed away from barbecue recently. When you've grown up in North Carolina, you've had it so much, it's not really that special anymore. I appreciate it whenever I have it. I probably have it once a year, maybe. Because I'm a big steak guy and I make my steaks myself because nobody can make a steak better than me.
How do you take it?
Salt and pepper, man.
No, I mean like temp wise, I should say.
Oh, medium rare. Either medium or medium rare.
Sir.
Yeah, come on now. I'm not one of those well done black guys. I know where you were going with that. That's not no.
No, don't do that.
Hey man, I know black guys make mistakes well done. Do you?
They hell no.
It freaks me out, man.
I know
it freaks me out.
They swear by.
Oh,
they
dude,
swear by well done,
killers,
man. And
serial killers.
Yeah,
man. There's something up with them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like a lot of Dexter.
Steaks cost too much to dry them up. So
no, man, you're gonna ruin them. Granted, there are some cuts. A fillet, some ribeyes, if they have enough marbling in them. If you well done them, they'll still be tender-ish.
Yeah,
but
edible.
Nah. Medium. You get the pan ripe and hot, you go and then you're done. That's it.
2 and 2. That's what I always do.
Yeah. 2 and 2, and then rosemary, garlic, and butter, and baste it.
Oh yeah,
all day. Man.
Cast iron, baby. Yes, sir.
Cast iron. That's it. Yep. It's the holy grail. Don't get any better than that. But as far as restaurants, and I'm gonna plug her.
Yeah.
We'll see if she sees this, which I doubt, and give me some money. But there's a chef named Ashley Christensen, I believe is her name, and she's got a few spots in downtown Raleigh. One of them is called Chuck's, which is a burger bar. Another one's called Beasley's, and she had a bar up under Beasley's that has closed since COVID, and I don't think it's going to open back up. But that was called Foxx Liquor Bar. When I tell you, just imagine a speakeasy. So the restaurant's here, you go down the sidewalk, and then under the restaurant is the speakeasy.
It's awesome.
And the best craft drinks you would ever have. And these drinks were like $10, $15 a piece, but they were drinks unlike you wouldn't taste these drinks anywhere else. And Beasley's they have chicken and honey. So fried chicken and chicken and waffles, but they call it Beasley's chicken and honey. So fried chicken over a waffle, and they would just drizzle some honey over it. It is the best chicken and waffles I've ever had in my life. But that's my go-to. And I haven't been there in a minute, but that's my typical go-to around here. Like that's the best to me.
I love chicken and waffles.
I don't think I've
what a mix, man.
Oh, yeah, it's good. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense, Dylan. Like it doesn't. You're like, wow, this is, two separate opposite ends of the spectrum things that together. I don't get it, man. I don't know why it's so awesome.
That's like
you fuck with like salty, savory type shit. That's like the ultimate, right there.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Yeah, I saw a video on TikTok of somebody who was doing meat cookies. But when I say meat cookies, he would chop up Spam. He would chop up Spam, fry it, just pan sear it, and then he would put it inside of a chocolate chip cookie and bake it. And all the comments are like, "Oh my God, that's so gross and that's so gross." And I'm like, "So gross? That's sweet and salty, baby. Like that's good. I'm sure that's
I'd
good.
Try that.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah,
at least try it once.
Heavily, I love Spam. So
yeah, that's sweet and salty, man. Like that's good. And I love Spam and treat meat growing up as a kid, so I'm in heaven. Give me that and some cookies.
I used to get shit for eating Spam back in school, man. But I'm like, dude, that shit is some Spam and eggs, whatever, man. You fry that up in the pan. Yeah. That's good shit, man.
Corned beef hash, potted meat, all that stuff, man. I love it.
Poor man's meat, even though it's like $7 a can.
It's expensive now, man.
But
it is. Everything's expensive now, man.
True facts. Dylan, I guess let's get into the mill, and we're gonna talk about it.
Let's get into it.
Every time I see it,
One of the greatest interests to ever surface. But anyways, I digress. We lost Bobby again for the viewers that are tuning in to this on YouTube. But we do have Around the Mill, and we're going to be talking about it. But I want to talk about it when Bobby gets back in here. So we will kind of go into the other thing that I was talking about. And you touched up on it a little bit earlier, Joe. The House votes, and this, I don't even consider this political, but if you do, whatever. House votes to decriminalize marijuana at the federal level, 220 to 204. That's big steps forward to kind of like at least get to somewhat even ground with the state legislation with that. So it's just like, you know what? It's great. You know, decriminalize it. Not a bad drug. I think actually most people need to be on it these days, especially with how stressful life has been the past few years with everything going on globally and currently. But kind of like I said, we kind of touched upon that already, so I won't get too far into that. As far as other categories, I talked to you guys pre-production about a YouTube and how the most viewed YouTube. I was just interested, I guess, what was trending, and I came across the most viewed YouTube date. What do you guys think it is? Any guesses?
I'm guessing
It's probably something more recent these days, huh? Or is it some one of the OGs?
I think
I
it's
thought it
gonna
was
be
the evolution of dance, but you guys said that shit got passed years ago.
Yeah, it's been passed up.
I would say that magician guy that was on the hover, like the thing, like he was, I don't remember what his name was. It looked like he was on the magic broom or something like that. That was super viral on TikTok. That was the most viral video on TikTok ever, I think. So I would imagine it would cross over on YouTube too.
I gotta text my wife the name of the song.
He was using the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That is not it. That's a good guess, but that is not
Give
it.
me 1 second.
YouTube. You're not going to look it up. It's cheating.
I'm not looking. I'm texting my wife because I don't know the name of the song, but it was super huge. Let's see if she responds. Oh, she's in the next room. I know it had Justin Bieber in it. I think. It was like a Mexican sound song. Was that Despacito or something?
Yeah. That's not it.
No,
but that was a viral song. Good guesses all around, but the actual video is Baby Shark. Good Lord, it's Baby Shark.
I should have thought about that.
10 billion views. We're talking about everyone in the entire world, every heartbeat in this earth has watched it and some. That's crazy to think about. Baby Shark, doot, 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 doot. Unreal.
I'm not surprised. We watch it like 5 times a day here.
I'm not surprised at all. I will say this real quick. My 5-year-old had found on YouTube Kids some YouTube channel where it's literally a girl playing with her baby dolls, and they have millions of subscribers, and millions upon millions of views. And my daughter can literally go through about 10 of those and not blink her eyes. When I tell you, just
that's the content. That's the content we need to be creating. That's where it's at. Creating content.
You want some eye drops?
That's you ask.
Like literally the whole time. And I'm every time I watch my daughter watch this video, I think of how much money this family is making right now, and it's ridiculous.
Well, that one little dude, Ryan's World or whatever.
Yeah,
he's got his own. They got toys based off of him. You know what I mean? They got a show based off of him opening toys on YouTube.
That market,
I tell you what
the fuck. I mean, because he's gonna be a bitch. I ain't going to school.
You heard what?
Both you, mom and dad.
Right?
Look around. I built this.
Countdown to 18.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I'm going to throw out a theory that
in the garage, Dad.
Yeah, you can sleep in the guest house.
10, 20 years from now, we're going to come back to this kid, and he's going to be suing his parents because they were raking in like a higher percentage than probably what he thinks is fair because he was only a kid and didn't know better. We're going to see this.
I don't know, man. He's probably gonna no racial. He's Asian, so he's probably gonna be on top of that, figuring that math out. Let's be real. Come on.
I mean,
It's gonna be smart.
I think no, I think they got like a better sense of family. Like they're gonna try to take care of that dude. I think. You know what I mean?
maybe it's all for camera. They're like all dysfunctional off camera.
Yeah, right. They're all fucked up. They beat the shit out of him or something wild.
Shut up, Ryan.
Yeah. They're gonna open this goddamn pool. You're gonna love it.
Open up a pack of cigarettes as soon as we're done with this fucking film. Down to the nitty-gritty. Nitty-gritty, yeah, what we're all here for. The slap that was heard around the world, unless you were living under him yourself, Chris Rock got slapped.
You did not just do that.
Will Smith.
He did. He did. He did.
Look, I strive for those reactions. I strive for those reactions because if I make you moan and groan and like, shake your head, I know I hit my point. Anyways,
I guess.
You
I don't want to
delivered
live
it
there.
amazingly,
How are
though.
you?
Literally, it was an amazing delivery for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Real recognizes real.
Oh no.
Oh, where did you find this guy?
Flamingo, let's go.
I'm talking about you weirdo.
Yeah.
Hey, out here living. But yeah, I have audio from that that night. I mean, unless, like I said, you were living under a rock there, unless that joke went over your head. But here's some audio.
Keep fucking my wife's mouth. I'm going to, okay?
Wait a second, that's
Here we
not
go.
what happened. That's not what
The
happened.
remix.
Yeah, that's not what happened. Let's take a closer look here at the video.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Nutty, man.
You took it like a
That
champ.
audio from the AMPAS, Chris Guardian. But I'm just, Chris Rock right there when he was just lost for words. He almost sounded like he wanted
He
to
was
rip
about
into
to he was about to get into roast mode, but he like
unload, yeah.
and that's another reason. Like, not only did he take that shit like a fucking champion, but like he kept it 100% professional because I think he was ready to unleash some shit. But
I'm glad he recognized that. Hey, this is a huge moment. Like, even when he said it, the greatest night in television. Yes, wild.
Yep.
Yeah. The two of the funny kind of weird things that I took out of this, people were saying that it was fake. Like they were like, "Oh, that was staged." I'm like, if that was staged, then they both deserve an Oscar for the performance at the Oscar.
Yeah. Yes.
It don't get any more real than that. Like, if that was acting, then damn, like you deserve an Oscar, dude. Like, because it doesn't get any more real than that. Like, I still listen to it, and to hear Will say it the second time, I get chills. Like, that is a man who literally could have choked the life out of that dude at that second. And whew, It's crazy.
It's still a funny joke.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, and I just heard this, is Chris had wrote a bunch of jokes. Then he gave it to the producers to put in the teleprompter. Did he do any of those jokes? Not one of them. Not one of them. All that he set up there was boom, right off the cuff.
That's awesome.
He looked out in the audience and came up with those jokes right then and there. That is comedy genius, is what that is.
Yeah. That's
amazing.
crowd work. And like, I wish that because the camera pans in on those guys, and Will Smith is fucking laughing at the joke, and I wish it would have stayed on because you do see Jada roll her eyes or whatever, and she's not crying, she's not like distressed, she just is annoyed by it, and then it pans back to him. I wish we could have seen what happened in those seconds after, because it's like as soon as it pans back to him is when he rolled up on the stage and did the whole thing. So I don't know, man. There's a lot to unpack.
There's a theory that Jada coerced him to go up there and slap him. Like, obviously, like we all saw it, what you just mentioned, Bobby, that he was laughing, and then maybe it was like in the moment of him not connecting the joke and her medical condition, maybe that it took, I don't know, maybe it took a second, but either way,
jokes. I've laughed at jokes before, and afterwards it's like, that was fucked up. Like sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it really takes a minute. So I could see that. Like, people are like, oh, he laughed. Like, yeah, I mean, you're there. Chris Rock is on stage. You know you're gonna laugh. So of course he laughed at first, and then when it kind of hits you, wait a minute. Yeah. You just disrespected me right in front. Like, you just disrespected my wife right in front of me, and
in front of you, in front of everybody else.
I say this. I will always say I do not condone that type of activity. There's a time and a place for violence. That's not it. When it comes to being a protector of your family, yes, sometimes violence is going to be necessary. If violence is being, brought upon my family members, then it's going to be met, right? So I don't condone what he did. What he did was wrong. But how much is a man supposed to take? He's a human being at the end of the day, and he's a man, and he's a husband, and he's a father. Set aside all the music fame, all the social media fame, all the movie fame. He is a man at the end of the day, and he is under a ton of pressure. How much pressure are you guys under every single day? Mm-hmm. Imagine living that pressure in the public eye and being scrutinized for every single thing that you do, for people calling you a weak man because your wife stepped out on you and this and that. And like, you don't know what that man has got brewing deep down inside of him. You just don't know. And what makes it worse is our generation, the generation that are older, we were brought up to be men. You don't cry. You don't show weakness. You hold it in. You bottle it up. This generation of men coming up now, they've got it way better because it's not as taboo for them to talk about their issues. It's not as taboo for them to say, I'm not okay. But us, we take it to the church. Walk it off. Walk it off is the big thing. Walk it off. You'll be fine. Walk it off. And that's toxic. It's dangerous, man. It's just a ticking time bomb in all of us. And sometimes it comes out, and it comes out in that way. And it's unfortunate that it happened. Will Smith is never going to be looked at the same ever again. Ever again. He has completely tarnished his reputation forever off of 10 seconds.
A good analogy would be that I kind of reference it to think of like a cup of glass, or a glass cup of water, for instance, and then you have like that running under a faucet that's on. The water is like all the stress in life, like everything that you're bearing, everything that's going on in life, basically. And sometimes, that cup overflows. His cup seemed to overflow at that point in time. Sometimes you got to take time away, compartmentalize, turn the faucet off, take some time to pour some of that water out of the cup.
Yeah.
Right under Chris's face.
Yeah. I was about to say he poured some water out of that cup and then smacked Chris Rock with a wet hand.
Yeah.
Smack the shit out of that dude.
Well,
God damn.
Will Smith still got him the fucko of the week. So, in my book, and I think what you just said makes a lot of sense. But they did get to talk about their feelings, but they decided to do it for views and clicks, and they did it on the Red Table Talk. So you want to put it all out there like that. Obviously, in this day and age, especially when you're A-list, top of the line, you're gonna be faced with that kind of stuff. And to that, I still understand that you can only take so much of that, but handle that shit backstage, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Approach him like that. And if you wanna put hands on him, if that's how you feel you got to do, I guess do it that way, but not on stage. Because the thing that kind of sucks too is like he's a Philly guy, and that the award that they were presenting was like documentary of the year or whatever, and a fellow Philly guy, Questlove, wins. I think his first one ever, and you got to imagine it's got to be a top 5 moment of his life that no one even know, probably unless you read about it, no one knows that he won. No one even knows who won anyways, besides Will Smith, who won later in the show anyway, which is a whole other wild part of this thing too.
There was so much going on with that show that he completely screwed up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The 3 women that were hosting the show, that was monumental in some way, form, or fashion. I don't know if it was the first trio of females or the first black female. It may have been the first black female hosting with Wanda Sykes. The producer, Will Packer, TV producer, but I want to say he was either one of the first or the first African-American producer to produce the show. Like Questlove winning an award. He's a freaking drummer from the Roots, and he just won an Oscar. Like, there was so much happening that night, and Will Smith completely stole that from everybody. And that's messed up. That is really messed up.
And then he does get to win the award. Well, they try to get him to leave. He doesn't leave. And the fact that he's Will Smith, he kind of gets to kind of slide through the cracks there because he is who he is. I think anyone else would have been drug out the fucking place. But he does win the award, and then he does this tearful whole thing, and he like leans into the fact that like he's maybe still, you know, half-assed in character with the whole King Richard thing, and like that was another thing in itself. Like you got the Williams sister there, kind of like watching like awkward as shit, but all kinds of stuff. Like he embarrassed those guys, and I mean, it kind of he kind of sabotages the entire show, which it's kind of touchy. But I mean, at the end of the day, that was a pretty mild joke. I mean, obviously everyone knows by now that Jada has alopecia, but like she's not gonna die.
I didn't know that.
Damn good.
Right, I didn't know it either.
Bald still, and she came out, I think, a video either that week or the week before saying like, I don't give a damn what anyone thinks, about me bald. Like I think I still look good, blah blah blah. And then she didn't even like cry or like flail her arms or anything like that. She just kind of rolled her eyes. So I don't know. That's why I wish I could have seen the video still, just to see if she just kind of like told him like, are you gonna say something? Are you gonna do something? Like I don't know what happened.
Unhooked his leash
that second, because he was laughing and she just kind of rolled her eyes a little bit, didn't really have like a crazy reaction, and all of a sudden he storms the stage. So I hope and then he apologized to everybody but Chris Rock in his speech. And then you see videos of him later, just their party, he's having a good time. And then of course, like 2 days later, he has who I think probably was half wrote by his PR team, that whole thing on Instagram. And then today, I think he said that he's going to resign from the academy or whatever. So I don't know.
The thing about that, the thing I hate about apologies is nobody's willing to stand up for what they said and what, like the whole thing with Whoopi recently. And I don't want to get to, because that's a whole different thing. She said what she said. It was ignorant, but she should have stood by what she said. Like, don't go recanting. You said what you said and you meant what you said. And there were some people that got offended. Say, I'm sorry I offended you, and go on about it. But don't say,
admit you were wrong.
I never should have said it. And you can admit to, I was wrong. My facts were wrong. But you can still stand by what you said. And I think Will, this is the thing that a lot of people don't think. Will stood by what he did. And the reason why I say that is because when he got up there on that stage, that was his time to be genuine. that was his one time to be genuine, because people were going to further judge him off of that time, because anything else, they know it's calculated because he's had time to talk to his publicist. He's had time to talk to his team, but they watched him the entire time he sat there. He never left. That would have been his moment to be genuine and to really be apologetic. And he didn't do it then. I knew that he meant what he did, and he'd do it again, and he stands by it. He never apologized to Chris. He apologized to the Academy. I want to come back to the Academy again. He never apologized to Chris Rock because he wasn't sorry for what he did. He probably still isn't sorry. And it's okay. That's okay. He's a man. Do what you want, bro. But I would never do it. And one of the main reasons I would never do it is because that slap had about $200 million attached to it. And when I say $200 million, that is the money coming out of Will Smith's pocket. I would never do anything to mess up my check. I don't care who's saying what to who. You would have to all out touch somebody that I love in order for me to do something. And I still would be like, security, come get him, please.
Rough his ass up.
I don't want to touch him. I don't want to touch him. I'm not trying to lose my endorsements. No, I'm not. I thought it was
cool. Chris didn't press charges. That's kind of cool.
I mean, I heard Will Packer, the producer. I looked at a little bit of his interview today. He said that he really believes that Chris Rock didn't want to make an already horrible situation even worse. And that says a lot about him. Not only does he have a rock of a chin, and I don't know why anybody would ever want to be under Chris Rock, as Dylan was said earlier, but he really did a good job of handling it. Really, he handled it like a true professional and not like a black dude, because he literally could have just completely did anything, and they just would have chalked it up and were like, "That's just too."
You're right about that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, even because he's had like I think 2, maybe 3 shows since, like comedy shows, stand-up shows, and though I think the first night, or I think it might have been the night after, he's like still saying like I'm still like processing this shit, and he's like eventually I'll talk about it. And he's like it'll get real, but you know it's gonna be funny too. So yeah, exactly. So I think man, he took it like a G in many ways.
For sure.
That's tough to get slapped by another man for something kind of mild,
open-handed.
Kind of keep a smile on your face, and the thing that sucks too, like he started out strong, but you kind of tell like it started to hit him, while he was presenting, because he eventually was just like, all right, just play the videos or whatever, because he was starting to stumble, and it was just crazy, man. But whereas I mean, he's gonna obviously reap some benefit from this, because people are gonna go to all these shows now.
He already is, man.
Want to go?
His tickets are in the thousands now.
Yeah,
but I mean, because I think this is another I keep saying like another knife to the chest or the back of like stand up comedy, which is already kind of you got to really watch what you say, because it's pretty hard to not offend somebody anymore, and you're gonna get to the point where like you're gonna have to come out and do grade school jokes or knock jokes. But I mean, as somebody that's kind of working your way kind of into that scene, like seeing something like this, like do you start to wonder like what the hell can I really even go up and talk about anymore?
Comedy is one of the last forms of true expression, and I will say there's something about being in a comedy club. Things aren't as serious or taken as seriously in comedy clubs. It is when it's online and it gets out to the masses is where it creates a problem. And I teeter along the lines a lot of times, because you are 1 10-second clip, whether it's of you saying something, doing something, away from being completely canceled. And sometimes it takes a long time to build your way back up, unless you're just bulletproof like Kevin Hart, where you can get into an accident and walk away from it and nobody say anything else about it again, saying that you weren't driving when we all know you were driving.
Okay.
Yeah, cheating and then say the gay stuff and then come back from that. Like, unless you're bulletproof like him. But you got to be careful. Even on TikTok, I've recorded a video today, and I've looked at it about 30 times, and I will not post it.
Oh.
I just won't. It's just gonna cause so much backlash. It's not worth it, And it's unfortunate that it's getting that way, and people are being more bold and brazen these days. I don't know why. I don't know where the balls are coming from. Going to these shows, and Mike Tyson was at a comedy show, and some dude tried to approach him, and the bouncers are trying to get him out. The guy pulled a gun out. Like why? Where are people? Huh?
I said what? I didn't know about that.
Look that story up. Yeah, that happened just recently. Guy pulled a gun out. He never shot anybody, but he pulled the gun out, put it back, and wound up going up and hugging Mike Tyson, which was weird in itself. And there was even a heckler at Chris Rock show. Like, you mean to tell me that after you just saw what this man went through, you're gonna go to his comedy show and heckle him? Like, literally, somebody yelled out Will Smith. Like, you just kept yelling out Will Smith.
You know how embarrassing that is to not retaliate, to get smacked in front of the whole world.
And even Chris Rock was like, "Are you serious?" Like, come on. And that guy wound up getting pepper sprayed and arrested because he got kicked out of the club.
Damn.
Rightfully so, freaking idiot. But it's just stuff like that. I mean, people are very brazen and very, very sensitive. And it's unfortunate because comedy comes from tragedy. Just about every comedian talks about traumatic situations, talks about situations going on in their lives that may not be necessarily positive, and they try to flip it and bring the funny out. So sometimes it's going to get edgy. Sometimes you're going to talk about the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. That's what Chris Rock is good at. He's going to say the things that people are afraid to say. And I wish that the art would be protected, but just as a whole, as a nation, that's not where we're trending. We are trending towards, everything you do is going to be scrutinized, and you are, like I said, a sentence away from being completely finished.
Sad.
Yeah. Wild, man. What a wild situation. It'll be interesting to see if the Academy, whoever the fuck they are, it seems like this is like a bunch of black tie, suit and tie people that have like the darkened faces that we'll never know who it is. They keep talking about the Academy said this, and the Academy talked to Will Smith and whoever. I don't even know who the hell that is, but it'll be interesting to see if they add anything on top of Will Smith just resigning out himself. I don't really know what other penalties they could do. Maybe strip him.
Take his Oscar
award.
That's like, you can't fire me because I quit, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you. Fuck
whatever you want.
You're cool.
Right.
But yeah,
Can't
man.
punish me if I punish myself.
I didn't even watch the Oscars, and it was the funny thing was I think I woke up for like a midnight piss or something, because I wake up pretty early in the morning, and my phone was like blown up, and people were posting on stuff, and it was a lot to. I think I was up for like the next hour, just kind of like seeing reactions, and because at first it's something that's so wild that you kind of do have that initial factor of like, was that real? And then you kind of read into it more and kind of see the whole thing, and Jada and Chris Rock kind of do have a little bit of a history, come to find out. Nothing like too deep or anything like that for something like that to happen, but Chris Rock, he's had some things to say about Jada in the past, but insane stuff. But we're gonna have you jump into the TSP arena. We're gonna play a little this or that, and then I have one more question for you after that, and we're gonna cap off a phenomenal episode, man. I've had a lot of fun so far, but hop in, make sure you respect the hollow walls of the TSP arena, and Dylan's gonna put up 90 seconds, and we're gonna do a little this or that.
All right, let's do it.
90 seconds on the clock.
Here we go. Good steak or good burger?
Steak all day.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Breadsticks or rolls?
Breadsticks.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix all day.
Loyalty or respect?
Respect.
Minus 70 seconds.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Car or truck?
Car.
Money or free time?
Money.
T-minus 60
Over or
seconds.
under toilet paper roll?
Over.
That a boy. Iced or hot coffee?
T-minus 50
Iced.
seconds.
Fan or no fan when sleeping?
A fan for sure.
TV shows or movies?
Movies.
NFL or
Minus 40
NBA?
seconds.
NBA, baby.
Scary or funny movie?
Funny.
Sausage or bacon?
Bacon.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Board games or card games?
Board games.
Beer or liquor?
Beer.
Spaghetti or Alfredo?
T-minus 20 seconds.
Good Alfredo, yeah.
Batman or Spider-Man?
15
Batman.
seconds.
Taco Bell or Burger King?
Taco Bell.
9.
Music or art festival?
Music.
6.
Xvids or
5,
P-Hub?
4.
P-Hub.
0.
And then the last one, length or girth?
No,
I'm just
God.
I still will not answer that. Still will not answer that. That's not on brand for me to answer there, buddy. Sorry.
No, I had to jump that in there. But we'll end it off with a question we ask all our guests at the end of each episode, and that is, knowing what you know today, what is one thing you would tell your 18-year-old self?
There's so much I would tell myself. It's ridiculous. It wouldn't be just one thing. It would be a whole myriad of things. But if I had to say the most important one would have been to take care of yourself financially early on and invest. I would have told myself to invest at 18. Because if I had done so, I would financially be in a much better place than I am right now. So that probably would have been the biggest nugget, because everything else would have fell into place. I would have done everything else. But if I had settled in on some investments, and especially if I had jumped into crypto when I first heard about Bitcoin.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Invest in Bitcoin.
I heard about Bitcoin when it was like 0.0000000 of a penny. Like literally that's how much it was. And if I had bought $10 worth of it, then
You'll be all right.
It makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach every time I think about it. But yeah, that probably would have been one of the biggest things I would go back and say to that.
I like that. I think everyone in here would probably wish to go back, because 18, I think I was spending all my money on very dirt weed,
McDoubles,
fast food, McDoubles, fast food, and who knows what else, man? Cheap liquor, stuff like that. So
yeah,
nothing.
New Amsterdam,
nothing that would help me today. Yeah, so I definitely respect that. But before we end it off, I want you to just plug it all, man. The main socials. Anything that you want to talk or can talk about, I guess, today that you want to keep an eye on, anything, man. We want the people to flock to you.
bird joke.
Yeah. I will say I've got a lot coming up. There's some major stuff coming up that I can't talk about. So much so that I've signed non-disclosures. So if that should tell you anything,
Okay.
there's some major stuff coming. Now, there's no guarantee of whether it'll solidify, but if it does, there's some major stuff coming. I've made some really, really awesome connections with people on TikTok, and have been put in front of people that I probably never would have had an opportunity to meet before. So that's tremendous. But just right now, I'm just trying to build a brand, doing whatever comes to my heart. However, I feel every day as far as content is concerned. All of my socials across the board, Flamingo Jackson Comedy. I am on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook as of right now. So those 4 platforms, working on some other platforms, but as of right now, those are my 4 main. So please go over, follow every single one of them. If you have let me know that you were following from this podcast, and I will follow you back on every single platform.
Cool.
There it is. We're definitely gonna keep in touch and keep tabs on what you're doing. I hope everything goes to plan and you kind of just keep going up, man. This has been an incredible conversation, a lot of fun. It's been cool to get to know you, and you definitely got 3 more fans to add to the arsenal there. So we wish you nothing but the best, and we'll definitely bring you back before you blow up gigantic and act like you don't know.
15% off, bro. 15% off.
Hey, remember that we got that on recording. So.
The rest of this has gone. The rest of this has gone so well, and I appreciate you guys so much. So I'll give you 20 now. Okay.
Bang. All right.
So
we got that on audio and video.
Yes.
So
verbal agreement. 20%.
There it is.
Okay?
That's huge.
No more.
5 more %. There it is, baby. Dylan, episode 139. It's been another banger, but you know what time it is.
Yes, sir. Speaking of connections, it was great to connect with you, Flamingo Jackson. Thank you all for tuning in on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that great stuff on our social platforms as well. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Talking Shop Pod. It's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you next week.